Howdy y'all, welcome to Nerd Studio. Hey, as some of you probably know, I use an ultrasonic cleaner to clean a lot of my gun parts. Most of my pistols go through it, AR-15 rifle bolts, that kind of thing. I really find it speeds up the cleaning process for me. It's been a while since I've done an update video on it, so I thought I would do one today. In keeping with the channel, I don't start out these videos as an expert. This is a process that I'm taking you along while I learn, taking you along with me while I learn. And the same thing with using this ultrasonic cleaner. So I thought it was a good time to do a check-in, sort of let you know what kind of cleaners I'm using, what the process looks like for me now, and what tweaks I've made along the way. To get that done, of course, you got to get some guns dirty. I mean, what good would it do to show you how to clean a clean gun? So I'm going to have some friends in and out. We're going to shoot a fair number of guns, and then I'll go through the cleaning process with you, update you on where I'm at. All right, stay tuned. Yeehaw! Well, with the fun part over, now it's time to get to work. 2.5 years, I've learned a couple of things I wanted to share with you about the tank itself. First of all, you want to make sure that you suspend this wire basket from the sides of the tank. In the original video I did on this, I actually sat the basket inside. I just wasn't thinking it was a gaff. And the reality is, if you have your parts sitting on the bottom of the tank, there's a transducer in the bottom there that creates the sonic waves that come up and actually performs the cleaning. And if you're sitting on the bottom of the tank, it doesn't do as well, if really anything at all. It was just a gaff when I filmed the video, so make sure you suspend that from the sides of the tank. Next thing is really about pre-soaking. You want to take something that's going to break that carbon down. At least in my experience, the whole process works best when I pre-soak a little bit. I use Pro 7 for that. I've been using this 6 or 9 months now. I found this product actually from a viewer. Pointed out and said, hey, have you tried Pro 7? Guy said, we used it in the military. I think they still have a military contract, and I've heard from several ex-military folks that they are familiar with the product. It does a really good job of breaking down the carbon. I squirt it down, just apply it liberally to all the parts that I'm going to put in the cleaner, and it does a really good job of breaking that stuff down, and it does it fairly inexpensively. I get it in a gallon jug, and disappeared off camera. Gallon jug. I actually get that on Amazon for about 65 bucks a gallon. Now that might sound expensive, but for products that do this kind of cleaning and firearms applications, that's actually pretty cheap, and I feel good about using it liberally. Next thing you do, you want to use hot water in your tank. Start out with hot water, get it hot from the tap, and you want to make sure you buy a cleaner that has a heater in it. That's very important. I've heard lots of other people that said, yeah, I've got an ultrasonic cleaner that I use for like case cleaning. It doesn't do a good job. In the story I hear, and I can attest at least with mine, that having the water hot to begin with, it does a much better job. So I think it's pretty safe to say that having the actual heater in the cleaner is pretty important too. So next up is what kind of cleaning solution you actually put in there. And I started out with the Hornady products. This is the one-shot line. Actually, this is the case cleaner, but they've got a gun parts cleaner as well. And that did work very well, very good. Works pretty good. But it's a little bit expensive. I think this that's about $25 for 32 fluid ounces, and you can do the math. So a little bit spendy for putting it as the tank cleaner. Next up, I tried Dawn dishwashing liquid. That actually worked. It worked just fine. I put a few drops in there. It usually only made it for 1 or 2 runs of the cleaner, so you get about 1 or 2 guns out of it. I was changing the tank water quite a bit in comparison to the Hornady One Shot. Next up I tried, and it's what I'm currently using, Simple Green. Simple Green, it has a lot of things going for it. It's biodegradable. It doesn't stink terribly. And, you know, I do all my gun work and cleaning and stuff upstairs in my house, so the smell is pretty important to me. So it's not too bad. And it's a well-known product. It's known for degreasing things. This is a concentrated version. It's just, you know, concentrate. Best part about it, though, you get it at like Sam's Club for, I don't know, it's 140 fluid ounces. So almost 2 gallons, I guess. I don't know, do some math. 140 fluid ounces for $8 or $9 or something. So it's incredibly cheap. Once I empty that out, I will probably go to, they make an aircraft grade product, and I'd like to try that next. It's a little more expensive, but I've heard good things, particularly in ultrasonic cleaners. I think the main point here, and the point that, at least in my observation, my 2.5 years of experience, anything that will degrease in general is going to work inside that cleaner. It all comes down to how much does it help get the particles away from the gun, and how many cycles are you going to be able to run before you get to change the water. And Simple Green so far has been the best for me. So get it in. You're going to run, I find that I'm running mine at least 1 20-minute cycle. I know if you had a larger, more powerful tank, it shouldn't take that much time. But the next sort of step up in ultrasonic cleaners is about $700, and it goes up from there. I want to say I paid less than $200 for this one, for this unit, which is a Hornady. I'm not even sure, they don't even make this model anymore, but there's similar ones out there. And you can actually get a fairly decent one at Harbor Freight, I think for under $100. So yeah, I'd love to have a bigger tank, but I don't really have the room for it, and $700 is pretty spendy. So I do find that I'm running about a 20-minute cycle for a really cruddy AR bolt that's really nasty. Sometimes running at 2 20-minute cycles. So yeah, it should be more efficient than that, and if I had a bigger tank, it would be. The reality is, on a budget, this tank does just fine. You're going to have to wait a little bit longer, and I have not found anything detrimental to the guns for, you know, running it for 20 or 40 minutes in there, or whatever time. It doesn't seem to harm the gun, so I'm not worried about that. Works great. So you take it out of the tank. You got to hit it with your air compressor. I've got knocking some stuff over. I've got something made by Husky just to try to get something as small as I could. It's also handy for a lot of different things, pumping up basketballs and stuff. I'm actually going to probably get one and trade this one out for something that will fit back here on the tabletop now that we've got some more bench space back here in the gun room. Getting the parts really dry is kind of, I mean, it's very important. Not kind of, it's very important. Get your parts dry before you apply your lubricant. And lubricant. Now, you know, you might have gone back and watched some of these videos. I've done 1 or 2 on several different lubricants. And this is essentially where I've landed. This is G96. They sold this at Rock City Guns here in Roxborough, North Carolina. It's my local gun store. My buddy Glenn, who you've seen on the channel quite a bit if you're a fan, that's what he uses. He's the gunsmith there at Rock City Guns. It's his favorite for a couple of reasons. I am a big fan of Ballistol. Ballistol works very well, but it has kind of a caustic smell I don't like. G96 works essentially the same way as Ballistol does. I see the same cleaning and lubricating abilities as Ballistol without the smell. And actually, I can't place what the G96 smells like, but it's pretty nice. It actually smells pretty nice. And honestly, I think it is something that is oil-based and not, or probably petroleum-based. I don't really know, but it seems like more of a petroleum-based oil, much more like Ballistol, not a vegetable oil-based. Not that there's anything wrong with that. If that's what you're using and it works for you, I'm not knocking it. Go big. Yeah, I'm not an expert, right? So I take that out, take my parts out, get them dry, get them lubricated, put the gun back together, and that's my ultrasonic cleaning process. I'm probably not done. I'm going to learn more things. I may, in a couple more years, make another video, tell you more about what I've learned. Again, I can't stress this enough. I'm not an expert, but this is the 2.5 years experience I've had with it. And I hope that my 2.5 years of experience is something that's beneficial to you, and that the time you spent watching this video wasn't throwaway. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching. Always remember, anyone can shoot, and have fun. And then you got to clean your dang guns. We'll see you next time.
Yeehaw!